Undertale is a very, very popular game. So popular, in fact, that it is kind of a a phenomenon of the culture variety, and just how like it really, like in 2016 or whenever it came out, it really did so much different, and it was such a unique game. So much, in fact, that I didn't play it until 2025, or when you're watching this video, 2026. I'm just cut all pretenses. This is a really good game. I actually really like this game. And specifically, I want to talk about the genocide route and what it kind of does to you as a player. So yeah, we're gonna just hop right in. Alrighty, the first stage, or my first talking point, is the pacifist route. Now, I can hear you thinking, isn't this a video on the genocide route? Yes, but in my playthrough, I played through the pacifist route first, and it really sets up your experience to do it like this, because this is a very upbeat, humorous, happy game, like overall a fun time, and I really enjoyed it because it's just funny. I don't often laugh out loud at games. I'm not a stone-faced gamer where I only laugh at the most humorous of the Chungus memes. I don't know, I just work here. But I really, really loved the game, and it was very upbeat, very happy. It felt like I was walking in a field of daisies with my besties, Sir Friendzones me and the MILF. It was really cool, and I wanted to talk about this first to set up that my perspective of the genocide route was off the back foot of the pacifist route. And now we're gonna hop into the genocide route proper. So the first thing I really noticed when I played the genocide route was this guilt I'd feel. You feel like you feel like a monster. You feel, maybe I'm the monster, sorry. I don't know what came over me. But like, you're just a douchebag. It sets it up really well, and a part of me just wanted not even just play through it as a genocide route. I was like, I feel bad. The frogs, they're dying. And it's really cool with just the dramatic flip in the game. Almost instantly, the tone is set in such a dark way. And that leads us into my next point, or my third point, I guess, of the fact that it goes from killing feels wrong and you should feel bad about yourself to, hey man, you gotta kill 40 monsters, you get to meat grinding. It feels so, the shift like is so interesting, because I went from really caring to murder, something else. And it's such a weird shift where I stopped caring by like waterfall, and I was like, I gotta kill him. I gotta do what I gotta do. Level 20, and it's such a, like, thinking about it, it really numbs you to the horrors you're doing, and the game is so different at this point because Snowdin's completely empty. All of the puzzles and stuff are just completely shut off because they're trying to evacuate because some eldritch horror is now attacking them. It's actually insane how dark the game feels. It feels cold and efficient, like I don't know, man. I got nothing for that. And now, enjoyment. And this is like kind of a monkey brain sees number go up vibe, where it gets to the point where I'm just getting numbers. I'm moving up in the world. I'm getting strong. And I feel like this really gets shown with Undying, where that's the first, I'd say, properly hard boss fight in the game, where she isn't just gonna insta-die like Papyrus, and I forget what happens to Toriel. But I really liked how the game is just brutal. And Undying is like easily the main point for that, because she kind of has some determination. I don't really get that logic, but overall, it's so cool to see Undying become like this harbinger of hope for the monsters, and then she dies. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. And my last talking point, Sans. Oh my gosh, I wrote in my notes, the accumulation of evil and balance. The reason why I'm not saying evil and good is because I don't consider Sans a morally good character in the way that I'd consider the main character in like Undertale for the pacifist as a morally good character. Sans doesn't really, in my opinion, from what I've seen, fight for the moral good. It's more of like he's keeping a balance, and you see it with his in this fight when he talks about time travel and stuff. Like it's like a phenomenon and stuff, and it's really interesting to me that I see Sans as at least to me, I think if Sans is a balancer, that's really cool, because it's like he isn't there to make the world better or worse. He's there to keep the world like fair and balanced. Genuinely speaking, I think the Sans fight is one of the best fights in gaming. Its difficulty is up there. It's easily one of the most iconic soundtracks I think anyone's listened to. And overall, it in some ways, it broke the rules. Like, aside from Flowey, who we know has the ability of what's the word called? Has abilities outside of the laws of the world. Sans is the only character who overtly breaks them so much. And what I find interesting is, and the reason why I'm so big on, I think Sans is a agent of balance, is because if you look at, in the pacifist ending, Sans doesn't do much. And that's nothing against him, but if you think about it, you're a force of good, in some ways playing out the story within the guidelines, versus when you're not. Or you forced his hand, versus like, Sans can let the events play out in the pacifist playthrough, but in the genocide playthrough, something needs to stop. Something needs to happen to restore balance to the Force. I don't watch Star Wars like that. I just know that like line and then like it's a trap. Is that a line from there? I just really love Sans. I think Sans is a awesome character. I think one of the first like funny character is actually really strong. It's such a cool. I can't lie. I am a huge fan of those tropes. Unironically, it's like, oh, I'm the funny guy, but actually I could kill you. I'm thinking of that one TikTok guy. If you know, you know. But yeah, I really love this fight, and also it feels so satisfying to win. I almost like, it feels good to murder this guy. Hopefully that isn't taken out of context. That'd be really awkward for me. And yeah, overall I just really love this. And I think afterwards, where you fight Asgore and then, you know, Flowey kills him, and then you meet Frisk, or Chara, is that her name? I think what makes really interesting is that your malice was so strong that you summoned like a being from the death. And I think this sets up such a good, like, hey, you're a bad guy, but you're not the bad guy. And one thing I also really like is the fact that when they erase the world, quote unquote, and you come back, you have to like suffer for like 10 minutes for them to be like, I can bring back the world. And then, even then, if you play through the pacifist route, you get the little different cutscene. What I love about this is not that the genocide route turns you into a monster. It punishes you permanently, essentially, for the fact that you technically never, like, Chara's alive now. Chara's there. I think the genocide route has some of the most interesting, like, comments on you as a person, because, you know, oh, get the multiple endings, but actually, it's not a good thing that you get multiple endings, because if you do the pacifist thing first, and then the Megalovania, then the genocide next, then it's like, oh, you don't care about us, the monsters that were finally on the surface and free. You care about your enjoyment of the game. And one thing I really like, actually, is that there is no achievements. And I noticed that, because I'm like, oh, there should be an achievement for pacifist and an achievement for genocide. But in some ways, it feels like there's no incentive to get these endings other than to experience them. And again, it's such a good, like, these are ones and zeros displayed to you on a desktop laptop. And they're given life through the fact that if you reset everything, first off, you took away their happy ending, which is just messed up. Papyrus has a car. He got a driver's license. And you took that away? I wonder if they have driver licenses in Underworld. Anyway, and it's just the way it's set up, where you tear away their happy ending. You tear away this life they're finally granted. And you force them back into exile of the Underworld, and then completely tear everything down. You murder everyone. You just eviscerate everything. And it's so cool that you're in some ways, yes, you felt guilt when you first killed people. Yes, you felt this way and you became numb, and then you started enjoying it. But from the get-go, you took away their happy ending. And that's so compelling. And it's like, this is such an interesting... And also, this game was made like almost a decade ago, if not a decade ago. And it's just crazy to me to think that the concept that these people are aware, or at least Sans and Flowey are aware. These people are aware that you're ripping it away. And it's, oh my gosh. Sorry, I went on a huge tangent, but this video is mainly just a big tangent. I love this concept. And I don't know what Deltarune looks like. I bought the game on the Steam sale, and I'm going to play it. But beats me what I'm going to do, but I'm going to play it at some point. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe I'll be like, is Undertale worse than Deltarune? Question mark, exclamation point. I did see a review being like, Undertale was Toby's warm-up. I heard it's really good. I know it's like a lot longer. And I kind of wanted to make a video on Undertale, and I realized that this game is something that was so ahead of its time that, like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I genuinely speaking, Undertale is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, please play it. It's so cheap now. Toby's getting all his money from Deltarune. You can get it for cheap. And yeah, just a quick rant about Undertale, and then also specifically the genocide route and how evil is done so well. I got nothing else to say other than please subscribe. The numbers make me feel good about myself. And like and comment your favorite Sans moment. Mine has to be the Sans bed sheets. Like, there's an image clear in my head. There's like a Sans comforter, and they put something on it, and it's been burnt into my mind, and I want to be free of it. Please help me.